Well, hello friends, good morning, welcome back. It is now Wednesday? We're Wednesday. We are just about to arrive into Sitka. I'll turn the camera on in a second here and show you some of the views we're starting to get. Woke up at about just before 6 o'clock, went and got a workout in. Now, I will say, if you are coming aboard Quantum of the Seas, especially on an Alaskan cruise, obviously people are getting up early on this type of cruise. Caribbean cruise is not as much, I feel. I think people sleep in a little bit more. However, so the gym, fitness center, while a good size, does get filled up pretty quickly. It was hard to get a treadmill this morning, so kind of rearranged how I wanted to do my workout. However, I'm also not as an avid runner, I'm not a big fan of the treadmills they have on this ship. They're a little bit older and kind of finicky with the screens, and having the speed is on the screen and incline, and they don't seem to always work as well when you touch them. So it's kind of finicky and kind of drives me nuts, because I was doing a Peloton tread workout yesterday and today. Yesterday's treadmill was a little bit better. Today's was very touchy. So keep that in mind if you're planning on using the fitness center. Otherwise, they have plenty of other stuff to do. They also have classes and stuff. Never done a class, but those are available for you if you want. But yeah, we're about to arrive in Sitka. Views are starting to get really good. Excited to explore a new to me place. So yeah, as you can see, we can start to see some of the mountains in the background there. We're supposed to be docking about 9:30, so hopefully everything is on time when we get off. I've got to get to meet my group for snorkeling today. I'm excited to see how that goes. Kind of a new type of experience compared to, the Caribbean snorkeling. So, yeah. Probably can't see it very well in this shot, but straight across, one landed, but one is still flying in the air. Bald eagle, straight across there in the trees, as we sail peacefully into the port of Sitka. We're here with one other ship, I believe, Eurodam. It's a Holland America ship. I think that's which one it was. But this is certainly unlike any Caribbean port I've sailed into. Just the landscapes and the scenery as you glide in. It's really unmatched.
Yeah, this is my second day driving. We'll see how it goes. Yesterday was a little rough, but the mechanic said he'd be able to get that bus back on the road. Yeah, buses don't float. Well, they do for a little while. But yeah, this rain that we had, this is our normal weather. They get over 100 inches of precipitation a year here. About 16 inches of that snow, so the rest is rain. So it rains all the time. It doesn't snow very much. But we do get about 8 or 10 really nice days a year. You guys should come back on one of those. As we go through here, people always ask what the elevation is for some reason. It's about 6 feet, if you're wondering. I don't know why they ask. They usually look pretty embarrassed when I point it out, so I try to tell them now so nobody asks. I didn't even notice, sorry. If you can see a bunch of rocks, it's low tide. If you can't see the rocks out in the water, then it's high tide. There's a lot of little rock islands out there that are covered up when the tide is in. We do see whales in here a lot. A couple of weeks ago, there was about 20 whales out here swimming. There was about 6 or 7 babies. They were playing like hide and seek in the kelp out there. One of the other drivers has a drone. He flew the drone over and got some really good videos of the whales. Some of the best videos I've ever seen of whales. A few times a month I usually see whales, so not today apparently. do have a nice public beach here if anybody wants to go swimming. The water temperature is about 38 degrees Fahrenheit, about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. I see people in there swimming almost every day. You can probably hear in my accent, though, I'm from Wisconsin. We cut holes in the ice and jump in. 38's not that bad. This is probably one of the best views you'll ever see for a grocery store parking lot. The mountain you see out there with the white lines on top is actually an active volcano as of a couple of years ago. They've had some seismic activity. The lava levels come up a couple feet. They're watching it pretty close. It's been about 4,000 or 5,000 years since it erupted, so we'll probably be okay today. If it does clear up out there later and you see smoke, come find me. I'll show you how to get to the airport. There was a guy in the 70s that flew some tires up there, started them on fire, and dropped them into the volcano. So the people in town woke up and saw the smoke coming out of there and panicked. That was on April Fool's Day. That's the best April Fool's prank I've ever heard. Yeah, he had gotten clearance to do it from the city officials, but nobody told the Coast Guard. So the Coast Guard saw it and really panicked. You guys know the federal government doesn't have a very good sense of humor. They didn't take it very well. Yeah, you see snow up in the mountains here. There's snow up there pretty much year-round. Like I said, they only get about 16 inches down here. That's the best kind of snow, though. You get to see it, but you don't have to deal with it. Just in case you don't have a chance to see any Alaskan wildlife, there's usually some ducks in this pond. On the other side of the roundabout's a famous Hawaiian donuts. If you get a chance, come down and try them. I got to try them a couple weeks ago. They're delicious. I guess in Hawaii they sell Alaskan donuts that are frozen. A couple people always laugh at my lame dad jokes. So I did the stoplight up here. Shopping and dining is going to be on this side. The Sea Walk, the Totem Park, and the National Park is on this side. And if you want to see a piece of history, about 3 blocks up here on the right-hand side is a Radio Shack that's still open. Yeah, they're probably not supposed to be. We don't have very good internet connection. They haven't gotten that email yet, so check it out while it's still there. This building over here with the green roof is the Russian Orthodox Church. That's probably a better piece of history than Radio Shack, but it's not as funny. Yeah, that fresh fudge is really good. I've never had bad fudge, but theirs is pretty good. So over here on the right, you'll see Sitka's financial district. There's 3 banks over there. So you're going to get back on the bus right up here where I let you off. We leave about every 10 minutes.
Well, hello friends, back, and we are in Sitka. Just got back from my snorkeling excursion with Selkie's Snorkeling. I was the only one signed up today, so it was a solo experience, which was pretty cool. My guide, Mitchell, was great. Took us out to a spot kind of where there's like basically an island out, and we just kind of went around the island. Saw a bunch of different things like a starfish and a school of baby salmon and a crab, sea urchin, and even a cucumber, which he said is pretty rare to spot. He also said this school of salmon isn't very common either, but he thinks because it's earlier in the year that they are on their way out from streams out to the ocean, so that's probably how we spotted them. But overall, very cool, unique experience. You get a wetsuit, take you out, and just swim around. It was different, unique, not like your typical Caribbean snorkeling. So that's what is cool about it. Definitely, if you want something off the beaten path from normal excursions in Alaska, definitely recommend. I'll leave a link down below to them. I booked it third party. I didn't book it through the ship, so there was that. Now I'm just out exploring, hopefully find something to eat. Got some time. We don't have to be back on the boat till 4:30, I think, so got a lot of time to explore. It was about a 2-hour excursion this morning, so yeah, we'll check in with you in a little bit. This is the Sitka Science Center over here. And the beaches here are very rocky, of course. And then, of course, mountains and volcano in the back. There's lots of history around, back from pre-Russia days when Alaska was under Russian control. Certainly lots of fun architecture. Lots of houses, some modern, some not so much, but lots of just unique, different things you can see that you may not see, in a typical city. Another historic venue from Russian control, the Russian Bishop's House. I do know they do tours here, but I'm planning on going in there right now at least. Also was a Russian orphanage. Look at the sign there. It's now a historical venue. Well, we have settled for lunch at the Bayview Pub, and I have gotten a 907 Pale Ale out of Anchorage, Alaska. So, giving that a go. I also ordered what's called the Beast Burger, which has elk, buffalo, and beef. So we'll see how that is when that comes out. But we're right across from Centennial Hall. Very busy here, of course, obviously with two big cruise ships in port. But we'll check this out, then go walk around a bit more and see what else we can find before we have to head back to the ship. Here it is, the Beast Burger. Let's give that a go. Lots of little vendors set up along the streets as well, it looks like. Fun. So, just finished up at the Bayview Pub. Got that Beast Burger, which was very good. Definitely not a place you're looking to if you're going for reasonable pricing. That's very, very touristy type pricing, It's going to be like just for the meal, not including tip. They also did if you pay with cash versus card, so there was a difference about $2. But if you paid, either way, it was about $40, just over $40 for just myself. So just keep that in mind. That was one beer and the burger. So, but overall, very good. Just not quite the bang for your buck, I guess you could say. So there is that. Keep that in mind. And now we're just exploring. Just continuing to venture around here. Looks like we have Totem Square up ahead, as well as Sitka Pioneers Home over here. We'll come up here and we'll look at this. Look at the great views in the distance there. Sitka Hotel over here. Plenty of little shops and stuff around.
Hey, pick your feet up.
You can see the volcano off in the distance there. A bit of a marina here, fishing boats and stuff. United States Post Office and Courthouse over here as well.
United States Post Office
and the Totem of Totem Park. Yeah, bus driver on the way here let us know about this, but it's funny because if I'm able to zoom in here a bit. No, we're not. There we go. There is a Radio Shack still open and operating here in Sitka. I couldn't tell you last time I've seen it. an actual Radio Shack. That's outstanding. You can tell it is low tide because the water has receded quite a bit here on this end. Like I said earlier, very rocky, not a sandy area, of course, but that's how it is in Alaska. Even during snorkeling, you could tell it's just you couldn't really walk very well because there were so many rocks. But this beautiful scenery.
This was a freshwater stream until they dug it out to the size it is today. This little freshwater lake is where they chiseled out ice and shipped the ice as far down south as San Francisco, dropping it all the way in between for ice boxes back in the day. And they just stocked it with 300 trout 2 days ago. They used sawdust and burlap to transport ice back in the day to insulate the ice. And the ice was used for ice boxes before refrigeration. Now we're coming up to this little church. You might wonder why I bring it up, because you can all probably do a saint or prayer for yourselves. But you have to have 2 churches for every bar in town. That's the way that story goes. You also have to be a resident. You have to live here to own a shop or store, whatnot here. Anyways, not unusual to go out to the airport, board your flight with a group of students that have their duffel bags with them. They all fly to each other in Southeast Alaska to for all their sports games and tournaments, things like that. They all fly to each other, and that's funded by the state for them. Just across the water also, if that wasn't enough, they have a Coast Guard Academy over there. They come from all over Alaska here to Sitka to train, and they specialize in cold water rescue here. As you can imagine, that's the main issue here with all the fishing boats for long out here in Sitka Sound. No, I don't know. It's just maybe too small an area. It's not a very big sound, really. This sandy beach here on the left, that's their favorite swimming hole. The sand goes out about a quarter of a mile. They've been in there swimming today. There's an exercise group that goes in every morning. That's one of the reasons I gave up exercising, was they do stupid things like that. The reason I bring that up, well, let me tell you, that dock that your ship is tied up to is a recycled version of the branch that sunk in.
Lots of different little things here at the port. We got nuts and art, and coffee shop, more shops out here down below.
Come to the front, please.
And we are on the move. So, I will say this has turned out to be a glorious day here in Sitka. It rained a little bit, not much, but I know they said it rains like 300 some days out of the year. So, it's pretty normal for rain, but it really didn't rain too much, and it's partly cloudy right now, so you got some sun. Just a little bit ago, maybe I'll insert some video, though it is in portrait mode on my phone, of a bald eagle just flying right next to the ship, like as close as I've ever seen one. So that was really cool. Now I'm just kind of wandering and watching us sail away here. Then we're off to Skagway tomorrow. Then we have the Glacier and Juneau after that, and of course Victoria, and we're back. But day one in Alaska, truly incredible. So can't wait to see what else we can get ourselves into on this incredible voyage. Sailing away from port doesn't get much better than this.
Nobody loves me. Here they come, will you let me go? Bismillah, no, we will not let you go. Let go! Bismillah.
That to rock edition.
Ooh la la!
friends. Welcome back. It is 11 o'clock at night. It is time for bed. I managed to get in not one but two shows tonight. That they doubled up because of last night with the production show, Sequins and Feathers being pushed due to the rough water. So that was tonight as well. I had Starwater reserved. So there's only one show you have to reserve on this ship, and that's Starwater, and that's in the 270. And then the Sequins and Feathers show, which is a Vegas-style show, is in the Royal Theater. Let's start with dinner. Dinner was Taste of Asia menu. Insert photos here. I had the dumplings for my appetizer, the Kung Pao chicken for my entree, and the matcha cake thing. I forget the exact name. That was my dessert. All very good. Clean Plate Club on those. But then I hung out in the Schooner Bar. They did a Name That Tune classic rock kind of thing. So did that. And then moved over to 270 Lounge for my reservation for Starwater. Now, Starwater, I wasn't impressed. I get why they need reservations for that venue, because it's a smaller venue. It's not like, but I don't know what was going on in that show. It was dance. I mean, I'm nothing against the performers, because they were great. I mean, I can't dance like that. However, there was no rhyme or reason to what anything was going on. I'll have some clips, of course, from that in here. However, I will say, then I went to finish the night at Sequins and Feathers, the production show in the Royal Theater, and that was much better. I enjoyed that a lot more. Again, great performers, great singing in this one, a lot more singing. Didn't want to feel like I wanted to fall asleep in this one versus Starwater, but such is life. So anyways, enough of that nonsense. We are on our way to Skagway. Tomorrow I have a helicopter tour, which I'm very excited about. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Obviously, we'll plan on checking out the city a little bit as well after that, and just enjoying another day in Alaska. So far, it's been incredible. Can't wait to do and explore more. So we'll check in with you tomorrow.